everyone, welcome back. Welcome to September also, which means I am closer to my favorite season. I know we haven't hit the first official day of fall, but to me fall is hit. If you are a pumpkin spice latte junkie like myself, you probably went and picked up your pumpkin spice latte last week when they came out. I even waited a couple days. Normally I go on the day they launch, but I didn't want to this time. I wanted to wait a couple days for the crowds to die down. And even then, I was in the longest drive-through line ever. It actually circled around the entire building, like a whole 360. But it was worth it. No complaints. So, I was going to get one and record while drinking my latte, but I just didn't have time. I do want to go through all the pages I colored so far for August. I have quite a few works in progress, so actually let me get those out first. Hang on, there's quite a few. Yeah, I think I'll do the whips first, and then we'll move on to the completed. Alright, so one that I'm working on right now, this is from Hanalin. I'm trying to remember which book I got this out of. I basically, because the pages in the Hanalin books are not so awesome for markers, they bleed really easily, I scanned it with my phone app and printed it on a marker-friendly paper. This paper still bleeds, but it doesn't bleed through to whatever you're working on underneath. And if anything, it leaves kind of a cool watercolor. But I did this one because I've been playing around. I'm very new to alcohol markers, so I bought the Ohuhu ones, and I actually enjoy them. And then I had done a lot of research, and they're pretty good for a budget marker. They're not Copics, I totally understand that, but from what I have learned, they are pretty good if you're trying to find a budget alcohol marker that compares well enough to Copic. So I'm just getting my feet wet with alcohol markers, and I bought those ones. I bought their 120 brush set, and then I noticed it doesn't have a ton of colors, so I ended up buying their 200 that has the chisel and bullet, and I like that bullet for my mandalas, so that part was nice. And if you have the 200 set, just FYI, I talked to the manufacturer. They are releasing the Ohuhus in that 200 count set, which has a load of colors. It will release with a brush tip at the end of this year. I don't know if they're going to change the design to match the other brush tip. Let me see if I can find one. Alright, so this is the old Ohuhu style. You have your chisel, your nib, or your bullet nib, and then they just have a color-coded cap with a number. So they kind of are shaped like Copics, but they just have the number and no name, and their numbering system with this old 120 or old 200 set is really weird and funky. So when they redid their markers in brush, you have your chisel and brush, and they went a little further. Not only do they have now the color name and number, but they also started breaking them up. So they have GY for green yellow tints. They have more clarification with their yellows, including like YRs and YG. Like basically they categorized them a lot better, similar to a Copic style. So it makes it easier when you're trying to figure out color families than this old one. But I don't know if when they come out with these in the 200 that will have a brush now, if they're going to redesign them to be like this new one and upgrade the numbering system. Because this system for this 200 set, I have no clue who made that numbering system. It doesn't go in order. Like the only ones that make sense are their selection of grays. But anyway, enough of that rant. We're here to see pictures. So this was done with my Ohuhus. It's a combination of the brush and the 200 set because, like I said, there's a lot of colors missing, and that 200 set has amazing color selection. I know it looks done, but it's not. I have quite a bit left to do. I need to color the little wormy there and just little doodads down here. But I was practicing with blending. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. I'm such a noob at marker blending, so I don't know if the camera will pick it up with my overhead light, but I am working on it. But yeah, so this one's still a work in progress. Lots to get done. Alright, next work in progress. I have a lot of whips right now, which seems weird, but this one's in Magical Delights. I am currently working on this page here with my Prismacolors. I just started it. I got in the mood. I was doing a lot of marker work the last couple weeks, and so I decided to dive in and get back into Prismacolor, and then I started it, and then I got sidetracked. It's like the story of my life lately. But still in progress. Here is another marker one. I actually love how this one turned out. I did, for me being a noob, I think I did pretty well with these leaves. I was pretty proud of that color combo. And I don't know if it shows up unless I get a little closer, but you can see how I kind of messed up the skin a lot. Definitely a newbie. Her hair has blue and black. I don't know if it's gonna translate on camera. And then her wings, I did like 3 different colors. The skin totally didn't turn out the way I wanted. I'm so new at skin. I mean, even with colored pencils, I'm new at skin. So, but this is a Hanalin. It comes from her free page. You just sign up with an email and she'll let you download a few of her favorites. But I actually ended up buying the fairies book that this comes in also. So what's left to do on this is just the background. I think I'm going to do it in pastels or watercolors. Not sure. So another one is this mandala. If you've been watching my Mandala Mondays, this is what we've been working on. It looks done, but we actually need to go through. I skipped this week's Mandala Monday. My kids just started their online schooling officially. They kind of like slowed into it last week, but officially it's all started. And it was a little overwhelming, so I didn't work on this yesterday. But I'm going to add some glitter gel pen to accent all this alcohol marker. And then I may or may not do a background. So next week's Mandala Monday we'll finish this out. And then here, this is Mariella Budeck. I always butcher her name, but she has such gorgeous artwork. And like I said, I've always avoided skin. I'm kind of new to skin work. and you can tell there's a lot I need to improve on here. But I decided to wing it. I printed it out. You buy these in her PDFs, and I bought this in her set of art, which I didn't realize at the time. If you buy them in those sets of art, they're like 6-packs. You only get the light and then the dark. You don't get the sepia. So had I known that, I would have bought this separately, but that 6-pack had a few that I wanted. So I might actually go and buy this separate just so I can get the sepia tone. But I did this with luminance. And, you know, I'm still learning skin, so I'm not that great at it. But I was really impressed with how it turned out, just because I've always avoided skin. And I have to give credit to the luminance pencils, because I've been playing around with skin tones for a while using all my other brands, but for some reason those luminance ones, I don't know what it is. It's like they're born for skin tones. I don't know. But either way, she looks freaky now because she's just got skin and nothing else. So I am going to work on it. It's just the skin turned out so well compared to all my past ones that I'm afraid I'm going to ruin it doing other things. So it's sitting there for now, but I do plan to work on it. I might even do a hair tutorial and show you guys how to do hair. So that's a maybe. Okay, let's get to completed pages now. I know, mandalas, you're shocked, right? I don't ever color mandalas. So these are from the 101 Unique Mandalas by my favorite mandala artist. Let's find my pages. I only did 2 in here. So I did this little dream catcher. And by the way, check out my new page markers. They're little colored pencils. Isn't that cute? I'm gonna save these, but I'll be using these to mark all my pages now. And I wish the camera would pick up the sparkle. Never does. Well, these are in glitter gel pen because that's what I love to do these in. But yeah, I did this little dream catcher, and I think it turned out pretty well. I was hoping my gray was darker. I was lazy and I didn't look at my gel pen swatch sheet, so that was my bad. Let's see, the other one I did in here is another dream catcher. And I did this one kind of with fall colors. I don't know, for some reason it just spoke to me. Hopefully that glitter shows through. It just spoke to me that do like neutral fallish colors, so I did. And I actually like how it turned out. These dream catchers are fun. But that's all I did in this one. Let's see. I have another PDF from Hanalin. This is one of her free pages, but again, I ended up buying the steampunk book. It comes on Thursday. So I did this with my Ohuhu alcohol markers. Also, I don't know if the shading really shows up, but like I worked on trying to shade her dress, and her hat actually has 3 colors, but I don't know if it really shows that well. And then I kind of carried these teals off of her dress, and I was practicing with red hair. There's 3 colors in there, but I don't know if it really shows up well on camera. The skin, again, I'm still learning skin. But I love these steampunk ones. I'm gonna get so happy when the steampunk book shows up. I'm digging these. Alright. So now, 50 nighttime mandalas. This book is cool. They have black backgrounds. I did quite a few in here. I know, shock. I don't do mandalas like ever. But I did this one. You might even see some residual glitter. My glitter gel pens are letting off a lot of sparkle. That's okay. So I did this one earlier in the month. I liked how that turned out. Let's see. And then I tried a new brand of glitter gel pens called ZCSM. They are these ones. They come in like a case. These things, excuse my arm in the way, are awful for mandalas. They skip a lot. I had a lot of clogs, and they are extra inky. I mean, they let out loads of ink, almost wasteful, but it makes it hard if you want to do intricate work. You can't. I mean, they were rough staying in the lines, so I am just using them for journaling now. But here's another one I did with those ZCSM ones. They're super glittery. I mean, glitter gets all over this black paper. But like I said, you can see spots where I went out of the lines because they were just way too much. And then they would constantly skip on me, and I'd have to unclog them. So yeah, I'm just going to leave those for journaling and notes, not coloring. Alright, here's another one using 2 of my favorite brands of gel pens. And I love these black backgrounds. They just really make the sparkle stand out. It just doesn't translate on camera, but it looks so cool. And I did this little one also using just my normal brand. I don't know if it'll show or not. I mean, I see it when I do this in the light, but I just don't know how well it translates on camera. But yeah, this is just purples and pinks. Got another one here. kind of a celestial type one. And then this one, I used like a combo of neon greens and yellows. And I liked the way it turned out. It's funny because all the excess sparkle, if you get any on your hands, it spreads all over this black paper. But it's cool because it gives it like a special effect, so I don't mind it. Let's see, I have one more in this book. So I did this one also. And this is just reds, purples, and blacks. And I was kind of worried it was going to turn out too dark on the black background, but it turned out pretty well. So that's it for that one. Alright, then I did some in the 50 mandalas for stress relief from Zenny Creative. They have very odd mandalas, like some are printed really light, like it's inconsistent. It's like a mismatch of tons of things. Like, I mean, see how this one has like inconsistent printing? They have some that are really ridiculously intricate, like I'm gonna have to use a fine liner, my gel pens won't fit in there. Others that are wide. They're just all over the place. It's one of those cheap mandala books though, so I can't complain. But I did this one with alcohol markers. I was using my Cali Art markers. I ended up not liking the Cali Art markers, and do not buy those on Amazon because you cannot return them. I had a lot of issues with mine. I had frayed chisel ends and a lot of weird splotchies in the ink, and they wouldn't let me return them. So I gave them to my daughter. She can play around with them, but just FYI there, that was really disappointing. But I was practicing. It turned out all right on here, but I couldn't use my chisel ends. They all had like these frays, so the color would streak. But I think, I mean, I didn't do too bad. I was practicing layering and shading colors. And this is like super noob form here, so it turned out right, I guess. Here is another one I did with those Cali Art markers. I was testing them out. Once I realized I couldn't return them, I was like, I better use these. And then, like I said, gave them to my daughter. The green blended really well. The pink, they just didn't have any pinks in the set I had bought that blended very well together, so didn't turn out quite how I had hoped, but I still liked the contrast. And I am going to start blending with alcohol markers more in my mandalas, because that's one reason I bought them. Alright, so I have a couple from the 50 Lotus flower mandalas from Camila Angelkova. I say her name wrong every time. So I did just the cover page here, using my favorite gel pens. And then let's see, what else did I do? I did this little lotus flower style one. I thought this one turned out pretty well. The silver glitter on this one was almost more metallic-y, but it's still, I liked the way it turned out. Then, oh, here's a work in progress, using my Ohuhus on this page. So it's not done yet. I was practicing blending, and this was the first time I had ever used an alcohol marker when I got them. So you can see I accidentally splotched a little. There's this one that I did with all purples. One of my favorite ways to do mandalas is take the same color family and use them. I think it just provides a really cool effect, and it still has contrast and depth. It's not boring by any means. This one is actually my favorite mandala I did this month. It has like a sea foamy green, and just, I liked the way it turned out. It was very calming. I actually did this one on Thursday, but I had finished it Friday. And here's another one I did. I honestly don't like the way this one turned out. I was lazy and didn't check my swatch chart, and the colors just did not mesh very well. But, oh, I do have one more. Alright. So I did this one with blue and orange, one of my favorite color combos when it comes to either markers together or gel pens. Not the same with pencils. But yeah, here's another lotus one I just did with my favorite brands of gel pens. Alright, one more mandala book, and then I swear I'll show you something more interesting. So, this is from the Sun and Moon Mandala coloring book, again, by my favorite mandala artist. She has so many. And this one, they're all kind of like celestial themed, obviously. But I did this one in pinks and purples, and then a purplish blue. I think it turned out pretty good. But that is it from mandalas. Can you believe it? Alright, so I didn't mark these very well, but now we are on to Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. I did a tutorial earlier this month. It was on how to make a pastel background. You probably saw it. I got glitter on my hands now. So the background is all pastels, and then the actual flowers and leaves I did with Derwent Inktense. I guess I should have put this in my work in progress because it's not done. I am going to outline the butterfly in white using my Signo. And then I'm waiting for my new order of Jelly Roll glaze to show up because I'm going to put the glaze over the leaves. And then I still need to do some fine liners on these. But I think it turned out pretty good. Let's see. Okay. Next one. Let's see if that whole thing is on camera. Yep, we're good. Okay. So this is also Derwent Inktense. So what I did here, I've been struggling with my Inktense. So whenever I find a medium that's new to me and I'm struggling, I actually go and watch color alongs. So I did this page with Julie's Passion for Coloring. This one was a color along she did. And then I used her same colors that she used over here, and I did this one by myself. And it was nice because I was able to try new elements and using her technique, and now I think I've got the hang of it because that was what inspired me to do, oops, did I leave the wax paper up? That was what inspired me to do this Inktense one all by myself. So I really appreciate her color alongs because she kind of simplified it but made it easier. This is technically a work in progress, so I should have shown that first, but I forgot I hadn't finished it. I plan to do the same thing with the wings. I'm going to outline them with white and then do my clear Jelly Roll glaze on them. I might use my clear Jelly Roll has this sparkle pen that I might use there, but also I wanted to white line this butterfly down here and add ink drops with a fine liner. I still need to color my little snail. And then I don't know if I'm going to do a background or not. I don't think every picture needs a background, and I really like the way this one looks. It contrasts really well off this semi off-white paper, that I don't know if I want to screw around with it too much. I don't know. I'm on the fence, but that was with the Inktense, and that was super fun. And then let's see, this book is out, so I must have something going on in here. Oh, so you'll remember this one as a work in progress from last month. Well, I have added more to it, and by that I mean the leaves. I got started on the leaves, finished up some of the gray in the face, and then kind of just lost interest. But it's a thing I have with Arteza pencils. So I love the Arteza pencils, but like I'll use them and then I find myself bored or frustrated or just not feeling it, and I take a break from them for a while. So that's why this one's just like I'll start something and then stop. But I do really want to finish this one. All the leaves will be in this kind of color here. I have 4 teals out, and I'm just going to bring that all around, bring the teal into the eyes, and then I think I'm going to do the background with a gradiating pink and purple just to kind of bring from here. But yeah, that is still a work in progress. And that is pretty much it. I mean, it doesn't feel like I colored that much, but I honestly, this month, I spent so much time getting to know my alcohol markers and playing around. Like, I really loved how this one turned out with the alcohol markers, and I just want to keep practicing. And then, like I said, this is my other favorite work in progress right now because I was so happy with this skin tone. And a side note, one reason I've always avoided skin tones is just all the layering. It's kind of daunting, a little overwhelming, and if you've ever watched like a step-by-step, I took pictures of step 1, 2, 3, 4. So like I added the contours and stuff first, and it looks like you've totally ruined the page, but as you add each layer, it looks better. However, it's just a lot of work and a lot of stress, and if you mess it up, it's just like, ugh, there goes the whole picture. So I ordered the Pan Pastel skin tones. I was going to wait on those because they're so expensive, but I just decided I'm going to do it because I've noticed a lot of colors are saying it's made skin tones a lot easier. I've seen the work they do with them and they look awesome. I mean, it looks the same as if you use the pencil, except smoother, and they blend so well. So I bit the bullet and bought those, and they come on Thursday. And I'm kind of excited. I think those will be much more up my alley. I love doing hair. Absolutely love doing hair. I love doing eyes and lips. I just hate doing the skin. So I think that might be the solution. So I can do more portraits and have fun with them instead of sitting there totally high strung. But I do hope to do this, finish this one up for September. I am thinking right now of doing a green eye, and her hair, I kind of want to do like a chocolate brown with some reddish undertones, or more like a burgundy undertone, I should say. But I haven't quite committed, so I've got to decide on that because obviously eye color and hair color play a big role. I wanted to do red, but her skin tone is just a little too dark to pull off red hair. So that's why I'm leaning more towards a chocolatey brown with some burgundy and then green eyes. We'll see. If you have an opinion on what you think I should do for her eyes and hairs, totally leave that in the comments because I'm really struggling. So maybe the majority of votes will determine. But yeah, maybe I'll do this as a color along. We'll see. I have to play around with it. But I'm hoping for September I'll have a lot more pencil work now that I have completed collecting all the pencils, including getting my new Black Widow Monarchs. I completed out my Light Fast set. I have purchased the new Luminance and finished out that set. So, oh, and I got Holbeins. So I don't think there's anything holding me back from going pencil crazy. And I do have a color along planned using Castle Arts. I have picked out the palette, very simple palette. And if you couldn't tell with the greens, pinks, and all that, this is going to be in a Johanna Basford book. But I wanted to keep it a very basic palette because these pencils have that ability. You don't need to go crazy. So keep your eyes out for that. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please do subscribe and make sure you hit the bell just so you're notified every time I upload. I do aim for once a week. I might start filming more once the kids' homeschooling is settled, and we'll see how that goes. But you can at least expect something once a week from me. And then I guess until next time, you guys, have a great day. Bye.